Hi everyone, this is Learning with Linda, and today I bring you an update regarding the SNAP emergency allotments. So unfortunately, you guys, we previously informed you that the emergency allotments were ending, right? So now comes the official announcement from the USDA, which is the U.S. Department of Agriculture. They also recently announced when the emergency allotments will end, and more details, of course, are in this video. Also, some states are starting to announce the end of the extra benefits as well, but remember guys that this is affecting every single state regarding the emergency allotments. We also have the latest update regarding the 33 states that have been approved for the emergency allotments for the month of January. So make sure you guys stay until the end of this video to ensure that you receive this information. Now, before we get started, if you're interested in the latest news regarding stimulus, child tax credit, SNAP, p-ebt, and everything in between, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. Now let's get right to it. And so let's start off this video with the official announcement from the USDA. Here it is. It's called Changes to SNAP Benefit Amounts of the Year 2023. And it starts by saying that there are several changes that may affect SNAP household benefit months over the coming months, right? So the temporary boost to SNAP benefits put in place during the COVID-19 pandemic, known as the emergency allotments, will end nationwide after February 2023 issuance. Even down here, it has some additional questions like, why are the emergency allotments ending? And will the emergency allotments impact my SNAP benefits? So let's dive in right into the details of this announcement. So the temporary boost to SNAP benefits put in place during the COVID-19 pandemic, once again, known as the emergency allotments, will end nationwide after February 2023 issuance. So why are the emergency allotments ending? SNAP emergency allotments were a temporary strategy authorized by Congress to help low-income individuals and families deal with the hardships of the COVID-19 pandemic. So the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2023 law recently passed by Congress ends the emergency allotments after the February 2023 issuance. This means that by March 2023, all SNAP household benefits will return to normal amounts without the added supplement. And so another question is, will the end of the emergency allotments impact my SNAP benefits? So if you actually live in a state that has already ended their emergency allotments, like several states including like Florida, Arizona, or Georgia, then your benefits have already returned to the normal amounts, and the recent law will not impact your benefit amounts. However, if you live in a state like, for example, South Carolina, which is ending their emergency allotments after January 2023, then your benefits will return to normal amounts in February of 2023. And if you live in any other state or territory, then your benefits will return to normal amounts beginning with the March 2023 issuance. And if you're wondering, how much will my benefits change when the emergency allotments end? So the emergency allotments allowed all SNAP households to receive an additional $95 in benefits, or an additional benefit valued up to the maximum benefit for their household side, whichever value is greater. So when emergency allotments end, you will return to your normal SNAP benefit amount, which, depending on your household income, may be less than the maximum benefit for your household size. So for most people, it's going to be pre-pandemic levels. Now remember guys that the emergency allotments are ending at a nationwide level. However, certain states have already started to announce such change on their website. So for example, let's start off with the state of Massachusetts, the massachusetts.gov website, and they're already pretty much announcing here that the federal extra pandemic SNAP benefits will end as of February 2023. Another state that is also announcing this is the state of Utah. It's utah.gov as a Department of Workforce Services. They're also announcing here the federal pandemic emergency assistance programs are ending. This includes the SNAP emergency allotment and the emergency rental assistance program, which are both temporary federal pandemic emergency assistance programs that will end in the coming months, right? And lastly, we also have the state of Ohio. It's a ohio.gov website. They're also announcing here the end of the emergency allotments. But once again, remember that the emergency allotments unfortunately are ending at a nationwide level. And so with this huge change coming, the state of Massachusetts, for example, has already released additional details. So the recently passed Congressional Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2023 ends the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program Extra Temporary Benefits, known as the SNAP Emergency Allotments, as of February 2023. This means that households will receive their last payment on March 2nd of 2023. So remember, even though it ends on February, they're still issuing that last payment in March. Now, the state has launched a new website that is the following: mass.gov/extra COVID SNAP, to help residents plan for the end of these temporary federal benefits. So over the next several months, individuals and families should explore any optional expenses that may increase their regular SNAP benefits. And here's the additional information that the state of Utah released. So SNAP Emergency Allotment and the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, both temporary federal pandemic emergency assistance programs, will end in the coming months. So when the federal government declared a public health emergency at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, it allowed for an emergency increase in monthly SNAP benefits to SNAP eligible recipients. So the omnibus bill recently passed by Congress, I think we talked about this in the last video, included the end date for the SNAP emergency allotments as of February 2023. Now, beginning in March of 2023, all 74,000 households in Utah that receive SNAP benefits will no longer receive the federal SNAP emergency allotment, which will return the SNAP benefits to their pre-pandemic level. The state of Ohio also released the following information for SNAP recipients. So Congress temporarily increased SNAP benefits due to the COVID-19 public health emergency. Of course, this is what was done, and this is where the emergency allotments came from. Now, this means you have been getting more benefits on your EBT card each month than you normally would. Now, the federal law has changed and no longer allows for SNAP emergency allotments. Your last SNAP emergency allotment will be in February 2023, and your benefits will be reduced to your normal amount beginning March 2023. Now, your normal amount is the first SNAP benefit you receive each month. The emergency allotment has been the second SNAP benefit issued at the end of the month. So therefore, you will continue to receive your normal SNAP amount. Only the emergency allotment of the SNAP benefit you received at the end of each month is stopping. And as I mentioned in my previous video, the SNAP emergency allotments are pretty much ending sooner than expected. And of course, that is very unfortunate. So the 2023 Omnibus Spending Bill passed by Congress in December 23rd of 2022 includes transformational changes to programs that feed children in the summer months, but the funding for these new provisions comes at the expense of the SNAP program, which we all know. Now, unfortunately, Congress chose to fund the new investments in child nutrition programs by cutting the SNAP emergency allotments. Temporary increases in SNAP benefits were implemented early in the COVID-19 pandemic to help low-income households afford groceries. And here we have the list of states that have been approved for the SNAP emergency allotments for January, and of course their payout date information. Starting off with Alabama, January 31st all the way through the 1st of February. California, February 4th all the way through the 11th, February 4th or February 11th. Once again, California, February 4th or February 11th. Colorado, January 8th all the way through the 13th. Delaware, January 25th. DC's on a regular issuance schedule. Illinois, January 21st all the way through the 29th. Hawaii, February 13th. Kansas, February 19th all the way through the 28th. Louisiana, payout date is on one of the following dates: January 7th, the 14th, the 21st, or the 28th. Maine, January 10th, and Maryland, January 4th all the way through January 23rd. Michigan, January 21st all the way through January 30th. New Hampshire, January 3rd or January 20th. New Jersey, January 1st through the 5th. New Mexico, January 1st all the way through the 31st. And then for those in New York City, January 12th all the way through the 27th. And for the rest of the state, January 9th all the way through the 23rd. North Carolina, January 22nd through the 31st. Ohio, January 24th through the 25th. Oklahoma, January 10th through the 15th. Oregon, depositing payment in 3 rounds. So round 1, January January 10th, round 2 January 30th, and round 3 on February 1st. Pennsylvania January 18th all the way through the 31st. Rhode Island January 4th. South Carolina, January 1st all the way through the 31st. Texas, January 3rd through the 5th or January 9th through the 10th. Utah, January 28th. Virginia, January 16th. Washington, January 1st through January 20th. West Virginia, January 4th. And Wisconsin, January 21st. There's also a couple other states that are sending out their payment in the month of January, but that is only because they're sending the SNAP emergency allotment benefits for the month of December, right? So for example, California, they'll send their December benefit on January 8th or January 14th. Hawaii, same thing. They're sending their December benefit on January 10th. Kansas, their December benefit January 22nd through the 31st. Massachusetts, January 3rd. Minnesota, January 10th all the way through the 31st. And Vermont, January 12th. And that is all the updates that I have for today. Remember to turn on your notification button to know when I have uploaded a new video. See you guys next time.